And so we've made it, the final video lesson of academic year 2019-2020 for geography. Social distancing explained, 2 meters for geographers. This is more an exam technique point, an exam skill, than it is a social distancing point. Contour lines. Contour lines on maps show you height and relief and show you points that are the same height. Look along the contour line for the number. It tells you how high above sea level in meters that contour line is. When there are lots of contour lines close together, the land is very steep. When the contour lines are very far apart, the land is much flatter. 2/5 of a contour line is 2 meters for geographers. Link to the Do Now quiz is on ePraise or in the description. Pause here and get it done. Answers were available, and hopefully you got the hint about the work that we should be doing over the summer. I'm not trying to scare anybody, not trying to put everybody off, but we do need to have a bit of discipline over the summer to make sure we do the things that are going to let us hit the ground running in September, which is what that quiz was all about. A couple of bits of feedback on yesterday's quiz. Some people weren't quite 100% on urbanisation. Urbanisation is an increase in the proportion of people living in towns and cities. Urbanisation is an increase in the proportion of people living in towns and cities. So the percentage of people living in towns and cities within a country goes up. That's urbanisation. Don't confuse it with rural to urban migration, which is the movement of people from the countryside to cities. Huge numbers of people, huge numbers of geographers get confused over those two. Don't let you be one of those guys. We also had a little bit of confusion over the difference between composite and shield volcanoes. Here is a composite volcano. Steep slopes, layers of lava and ash formed when an eruption occurs. Lava rolls down the side. The ash, which is thrown up into the sky because of the explosive nature of the eruption, settles on top. So we have layers of lava, then ash, lava, then ash. The eruptions are infrequent, they don't happen very often, but when they do, they are explosive. And compared to shield volcanoes, they're actually quite small. Here we have our shield volcano with the composite volcano to scale. It is just made up of layers of lava because the eruptions are not explosive. The slopes are far more gentle and they are extremely large. Composite volcanoes to scale, we can see that the shield volcano is much, much bigger, much wider, much flatter, but much larger overall, made of lava and with constant gentle eruptions. And so, the first of our final 2 exam questions of year 10. Explain why rural to urban migration occurs in LICs for 4 marks. You need 2 reasons because it's a 4-mark explain question. You need to develop each point, develop each reason to ensure 4 marks, and you need to use chains of reasoning connectives such as therefore, as a result, this means, in order to do that. Think hard about why people in LICs in the poorest parts of the world would want to move from the countryside to the city. Think of 2 separate reasons and then make sure you explain why that reason is important to those people. Pause here, 4 minutes on the clock, and when you're ready, have a go. And here's our model answer. People move from rural to urban areas hoping to find well-paid jobs. As a result, they will have improved income that can be spent on essentials like housing and food, improving their quality of life. In addition, People move for improved access to education. Due to this, their children are likely to have better qualifications and earn more in future, again leading to an improved quality of life. Look at each of those small sections. Look at the point. People move to find well-paid jobs. People move for improved access to education. They are the first 2 marks. And then look at the chains of reasoning connectives. As a result, they have improved income. And they spend it on essentials and it improves their quality of life. In the second section, due to this, their children will be better educated and have more qualifications, earning more money, again improving their quality of life. 4 marks, nice and easy, 2 points, 2 developments, done, and we move on. A bit more of a challenge. Using an example, evaluate the success of a flood management scheme for 9 marks. A 9 marker has a certain structure, an introduction, 2 paragraphs, AKU paragraphs, and a conclusion. It's evaluate the success. So paragraph 1 needs to talk about why the flood management scheme that we'll talk about, hopefully in your mind you're thinking Cumbria Flood Action Plan, why it was successful. Paragraph 2, why it was unsuccessful, and then a short conclusion, giving an overall decision, and it's likely to be a partially successful, somewhat successful, mostly successful comment. Include success statements, partly, fully, or not successful at the start of each paragraph. Don't overload with knowledge. Develop points for your understanding. Don't use huge amounts of knowledge. You can put perhaps a couple of bits of knowledge in to talk about why it was successful, but they need to be linked, which is what I've done in the model that you'll see in a moment. You could put a couple of bits of knowledge in as to why it was unsuccessful, but they need to be linked, so we don't just end up with lots and lots of K in a list. Too much knowledge listed is not going to get you beyond, not really going to get you that far into level 2, if at all. So, pause the video, put 9 minutes on the clock, and have a go at this. Away you go. And here's the model answer. An absolute beast of a model answer, to be fair, but this is what we're aiming for, this level of quality. This is a 9 marks out of 9 answer without a shadow of a doubt. The Cumbria Flood Action Plan in the north of England has been partially successful. There have been some elements of the scheme that are very successful. The combination of 49 kilometres of flood walls and 2,000 trees planted in the drainage basin has increased river capacity and increased rates of interception, meaning no flooding has occurred. As a result, there's been no damage to residential or business property, meaning costs of repairs have been minimised. Consequently, both businesses and residents can feel more confident that flooding won't occur, improving quality of life for those who live and work in the area. However, there have been other features of the Cumbria Flood Action Plan that have been less successful. £72 million of flood defences has meant that there has been significant disruption to the area whilst flood walls have been built. Air and noise pollution due to large-scale building work has affected both local residents and wildlife, as a result damaging quality of life for people in the area, as well as causing conflict between local government and environmentalists. Overall, while it's been extremely successful in some ways, the Cumbria Flood Action Plan has only been partially successful due to the disruption caused. Things we like. Start of each paragraph makes it really clear as to what that paragraph's going to say. Paragraph 1 is about why it's successful, paragraph 2 is why it's not successful. There are specific level 3 bits of knowledge in each paragraph. 49 kilometres of flood walls and 2,000 trees in paragraph 1, 72 million pounds worth of flood defences in paragraph 2. There are chains of reasoning in both paragraphs. If we look at paragraph 1, we can see about halfway down, as a result, consequently. If we look at paragraph 2, we can see, as we work our way down, as a result again, therefore we've got the chains of reasoning connectives in there, which help to ensure that we're developing our points. And then a short conclusion, extremely successful in some ways, but only partially successful in others. So, enjoy your summer, but don't forget, we've got a big year to come back to. So, have a look at the checklists that have been sent out on ePraise this week, go through topic by topic, decide how well you know it, and have a think about retesting. If you've missed some of the videos, go back and watch the videos. You've got until September to get yourself up to speed, so go back and watch the videos you've missed, do those tasks, make sure that you've gone through all of the stuff that we've covered in lockdown. If you've got any questions, or if you're missing a checklist, or if you're missing a knowledge organiser, if you've had a go at a question and you want me to have a look at it, guys, from now all the way through till we come back in September, message me. Send me emails, message me on ePraise. I will get to you. Okay, I will get those answers and I will have a look through them. I will send you what you need. Whatever you need, get in contact with me and we'll make sure that it happens, because we've got a big year coming up and I want you to be successful. And you should want to be successful, so that means that you are going to need to do a little bit of work in the summer. I'm not going to dictate you will do however many quizzes or questions or whatever. You're going to decide that, because you're going to look at what you know, you're going to consider what you don't know, and you're going to make sure that you use the tools that are available to fill the gaps. So be in contact with me. I will be available throughout the summer, probably not going to be replying like that, but I will get back to you with the answers that you need, and make sure that when you come back in September, you've worked hard and that you're ready to go for a really successful Year 11.